Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the property lines we draw so casually on maps and deeds? Mark discovered the stone while excavating for his new pool. Moss-covered, carved with symbols he didn't recognize, it sat exactly where the blueprints said to dig. His contractor shrugged. Just an old rock. They hauled it away with the backhoe. That night, Mark heard scratching at his bedroom window, long, deliberate scrapes against the glass. When he pulled back the curtain, nothing was there. Just his reflection and the darkness beyond. The scratching returned the next night, and the next. Always at 3:17 in the morning, always at the window facing where the stone had been. Mark researched the property's history. His land had been part of a colonial settlement. The original deed, scanned and uploaded to the county website, mentioned boundary stones placed by agreement with the previous inhabitants. There was a phrase in Latin he had to translate. Let no man move what keeps the old ones bound. He told himself it meant nothing. Old superstitions. But the scratching grew louder, more insistent. It spread to other windows, to the walls. Sometimes he could hear it beneath the floorboards, as if something was trying to claw its way up from the earth itself. His neighbor mentioned seeing figures in Mark's yard at night. Tall, impossibly thin shadows that moved wrong, their limbs bending at angles that made her eyes hurt. She stopped making eye contact with Mark after that conversation. The pool excavation site began to sink. The contractors found the ground beneath had gone soft, almost liquid. They hit something solid 2 feet down. More stones, dozens of them, arranged in a perfect circle. The one Mark had moved had been the keystone. The foreman refused to continue work. He'd grown up in the area, heard the stories his grandmother told. Some boundaries weren't about property. They were about protection, about keeping things in their proper place. Mark tried to return the stone. He found it at the landscaping company's dump site and dragged it back himself, struggling to position it exactly where it had been. But the earth rejected it. The stone wouldn't settle. It kept sinking at odd angles, as if the ground beneath was no longer solid. The scratching stopped that night. Mark felt relief until he realized why. They were no longer outside trying to get in. The presence in his house was undeniable now. Cold spots that moved, shadows that stretched too long, the smell of old earth and older things. His last social media post was a photo of the excavation site. If you zoom in on the darkness at the bottom of that pit, you can see them. Dozens of pale hands reaching upward. The caption read, "Some boundaries exist for a reason." Mark hasn't posted since. His house still stands, but the neighbors won't go near it. Sometimes late at night they hear digging, always digging, as if something is trying to establish new boundaries, wider ones.